Now for Eyewitness News, call 12 for action. General Motors released its internal report today about the delayed recall of millions of cars with faulty ignition switches.
And executives admitted to the troubling failures with the company and announced more than a dozen employees have been fired. Problem solver Susan Hogan joins us now with the details.
Well, we've been tracking this story since February when General Motors first recalled close to 800,000 cars because of those defective ignition switches. But that number quickly ballooned to more than 2.6 million cars nationwide. 15 people have been fired over General Motors' long delay in recalling cars with faulty ignition switches. CEO Mary Barra did not name individuals, but said those who were fired were mostly in senior or executive roles.
Some were removed because of what we consider misconduct or incompetence. Others have been relieved because they simply didn't do enough.
It took GM more than a decade to recall 2.6 million vehicles with the safety defect. Barra says the company's internal investigation points to a pattern of incompetence and neglect, but not to a conspiracy or cover-up.
This report is extremely thorough, brutally tough, and deeply troubling.
The report finds GM engineers knew for years about the faulty switches, which could turn to the off position when cars were in motion. GM also announced that it's creating a fund to compensate victims of the faulty switches. 13 deaths have been linked to the defect and hundreds of injuries. The independent administrator hired to lead the effort of compensating victims, Ken Feinberg, the same attorney who manages compensation funds for victims of the Boston bombing and the 9/11 terrorist attacks. The details of compensation are expected in a few weeks. The internal report does not implicate Barra, who had just recently been promoted to CEO when the scandal broke.
For those of us who have dedicated our lives to this company, it is enormously painful to see our shortcomings laid out so vividly.
Now, General Motors says 113,000 cars have been repaired so far in this recall. And if you have a consumer problem you need help solving, contact our Call 12 for Action Center Monday through Thursday from 11 until 1, hotline 228-1850. Or if you're interested in becoming a Call 12 for Action volunteer with me, you can call that same number you see right there on your screen. I'm problem solver Susan Hogan, Eyewitness News.